Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Sister Cerise. So, Sean G, TMZ, and Tisa Tells going head to head. But it's more like Tisa Tells and TMC going to head with Sean G. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Sean G, he has a podcast called The Podcast with Soul. And he does have a lot of soul, a lot of passion, and it is a great podcast. He does working out like calisthenics, and he really teaches people how to take care of themselves. And I'm a soul coach myself, so I really lean over to him a lot, not on him, but lean to his videos because he speaks with common sense and experience from a life coach type of perspective, which I can really appreciate. Now, what do they want to go to head for when it comes to Sean G? Well, Tisa Tells is a content creator for entertainment news. TMZ is also content creators for entertainment news. Sean G is not. Sean G just was, he pretty much went to the court, to the trial for P. Diddy. Now, he went almost every single day, and he was more going out of curiosity. Okay, when he started to go, he's like, you know what, let me go check out this trial. Since he's in New Jersey, he lives in New Jersey, and the trial was in New York. And he's like, let me go check it out. So he did. Now, every day he's in the courtroom, and he would come out and he would talk about what was going on, either on break or at the end of the day, which a lot of us who do entertainment news, including myself, appreciate. And I really appreciated his take on it, not because he was, bigging Diddy up or putting Diddy down, but because he was bringing the facts. And if you watch Sean G, you know he brings the facts, the receipts. He always has some type of documents in his hands that he got from somewhere online, printed them up, the courthouse, I don't know where, and he's always spitting real deal Holyfield information. Not just picking something out of his butt, out of the air, or out of his ear. It's always truth. Now, recently, TMZ actually brought out a story about Diddy drinking in jail, which ended up to be false. And I think that's very unfortunate because TMZ, a reputable, so-called air quotes, reputable channel like that, going on air and saying something about Diddy and it ends up being not factual kind of makes you think, why are they going to head with Sean G? Sean G is not a news channel. Sean G is not on television. Sean G, yes, since the trial, has been on many different people's platforms speaking his truth and what he witnessed in the courtroom according to law. Now, for those of you who don't really know, I'm just going to quickly give a rundown on exactly what was happening with P. Diddy. And for those of you who do know, just be patient with me. I'm going to try to do it as quickly as possible. So P. Diddy, he was charged with, racketeering, RICO charge, and he was also charged with 2 counts of the Mann Act. Now, the Mann Act is prostitution, taking prostitutes over state lines. The RICO charge could have put him in jail forever and his money would have been taken away from him. But he was not charged. He was let off on those charges, found not guilty on the RICO charges, but he was found guilty on the prostitution charges, taking over what he called entertainers from one state in the United States to another state. So him and his girlfriend, whether it was Cassie or Jane Doe, can indulge. Now, he wasn't intimate with these guys. He was filming them. So he considered himself just like a director of PORN. Now, these girls were not being prostituted out. He wasn't getting money for them from these guys that they were bringing in. They were bringing in men, and most of the men that were brought in were their regulars, but these men were getting money. So the men were literally the sex workers, the prostitutes. They were the intimacy workers, we'll call them. Okay. So now what happened is Diddy was charged on that and he got under 5 years. Okay. And now he's serving his time in jail. During the trial, there were a lot of legacy media outlets. So that's like your old fashioned media outlets. And they were in the trial and they were, every time when the news would come on regular television or on their channels, they would give their take on what was going on. Most of it was misleading. And Tisa, who is also a content creator, a lot of hers was bias, in my opinion. Now, I watched her, so this is not hating on her. I watched her for a few years in the beginning. And she did have a lot of information that she was bringing out on people that was valid and factual. But then I started to realize that there was stuff she was saying about the royals, stuff she was saying about the Kardashians, stuff that she was saying that seemed like it was not factual and only assumptions from her point of view. And that's okay. But she needs to bring that out. Like, when she's doing that video, she needs to say, hey guys, so this is what my thoughts are, my personal opinion, stuff of that nature. But she was bringing it out as facts. Then you had TMZ that obviously had people in the courtroom, and they were in the courtroom, I'm assuming. And they were reporting things daily as well. Now, they continue to report on Diddy. And like they said, Diddy was drinking. This is coming out as non-factual. But now when it comes to Sean G, he was literally spitting the legal facts. He was bringing out stuff that made sense. And in my mind, that's exactly what I want to hear. Because just in case you guys didn't watch his podcast, when he's coming out of the courtroom and he's bringing facts, those are the facts that I want to bring to you. I don't want to watch Tisa Tells and get something that is not factual. And the two of them were like on the opposite ends of the spectrum. You had Sean G coming out and he's like, hey guys, Mark Agnifilo today did a really good job, blah, 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 but I'm a little worried about this because a little worried about that, or not even worried, just I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that. And he gave the facts of what was going on. And Tisa just kind of was like blown out of the water by people who were at the courtroom as well. Nobody wanted her around. And I'm thinking, who in the heck paid for all of her security? This girl had security around her the full time. Now, she is a popular vlogger, but there are a lot of popular vloggers that were out there, like Armand Wiggins, and he didn't have security around him. There was Neek at Night. She didn't have security around her. People that are more popular than Tisa, but Tisa had security, and she was like, stirring up some strife with some people, maybe unintentionally, There were a few times where I was like, who's paying? Like, was TMZ paying for her to have security? I don't know. But now her and TMZ are getting together and they want to talk to Sean G. At first I was like, this is an explosion waiting to happen. But then I thought, this is a great opportunity for Sean G to get out there in the public even more because, he really is an advocate for truth. I don't believe that he's an advocate for Diddy because of liking Diddy. I think he realized somewhat going into the trial afterwards that, wait a minute, this is not a RICO charge. Wait a minute. This is not the Mann Act charge. Like, none of this makes sense. This is someone who is being charged and these charges don't add up. And, so Harvey Levin, who works with TMZ, is a lawyer. But he's always bringing some lawyer on his platform to talk about the law, right? So I don't think he's a practicing lawyer, and I don't think he really knows the law. I think he has a law degree. Um, I mean, to know the law, you have to, I mean, to have a law degree, you have to know the law. But it doesn't mean you know every aspect of the law. It doesn't mean that you are a professional at the law. It means that you graduated with a law degree. And lawyers are constantly learning. They're consistently putting themselves into positions of learning about different cases and different charges and stuff of this nature. So, yes, I will give him credit that he has a law degree. Maybe he was a lawyer at one point, but right now he is an entertainment news reporter. And I will give him credit for, being one of the most famous entertainer reporters out there. But I can't give him credit for every story that he brings out. Yes, they do get the nitty gritty a lot of the times, but sometimes, like, this Diddy situation, they have also come off a little bit biased. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I know that Sean G is calm, cool, and collected. I know that he's not going to go off. I think they want to make him go off. I think they want to make him show a part of him, like get angry, walk off the stage, or wherever. It is going to be live, broadcasted live, and it's going to be on his channel and Tisa's channel and TMZ's channel, I believe. I will be watching it on Sean's channel because I support Sean 100%. And I also want to tell you guys that you should also watch it from Sean's channel as well. I mean, we don't know. Maybe TMZ will say, no, we only want it on the TMZ platform because, we want to just do the whole news feed, the whole live. We're setting everything up. So we want it on our platform. And once it's filmed, we can send it to you, Sean G. I think they may try to pull that as well after edits and everything, and then he may not get the full shebang. So I would say, Sean, make sure you keep your camera rolling in the background and make that part of the agreement as well, because edits always make people look foolish, especially, well, if it's going to be live, then I guess you really shouldn't worry. Let me pull that one, rewind selector. Let me pull that one back. If it's going to be live, I don't think you really have too much to worry about, Sean. But at the same time, I will say that they're watching you and there's some respect for you if they want to bring you on. They're like, this guy's getting a lot of views. He's the one and only major supporter out there of Diddy. He wasn't even an entertainment news specialist, but now every single video that he brings out is credible. And he is in a position of doing better and better and better on his channel. And I'm looking forward to seeing his channel grow even more and for him to branch out in other areas of the law, because he's learning a lot of the law. He's studying a lot of the law. He's getting himself right into the language of it. And I am very proud to see that brother grow as much as he did since the trial. And again, I think he's just going to continue to grow, especially with outlets like this, looking at him as someone that they want to go head to head and toe to toe with. So, Sean G, you got my support, and I hope you have a lot more of other people's support as well. Guys, please take a moment to do me a few favors. Of course, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that like button. Do me another favor, 2 more favors. Be good to yourself out there. Tomorrow is not promised, so make the best of today. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.